name is Wei Xue, she's Kelly, and he's Joshua Alexander Lau, and together we'll be doing our data visualization and trends on the certificate on entitlements from the year 2002 to 2017. So in this project, we'll be showcasing you some of our business questions together with our graphs that we have come out with. So without further ado, let's begin! Okay, so for the first question, 3.1, the question is to use using a graph to visualize the COE quota trends from 2002 to 2017, explain the overall trends and the possible reasons behind them. So as you can see from the graph, the quota has been seen to be increasing steeply from 2002 to 2006. The quotas in all categories except category B has reached an all-time high by 2006, as seen from the graph shown here. However, after 2006, we can see that the quota drops, and there are many reasons coming to this. First of all, car owners' reluctance to sell off their cars for big ticket items, the flatlining of the used car markets based on Business Times Singapore, traditional markets being saturated, lesser demand of supply of quotas, as well as the world crisis could come all into play, showing how the quota decreased. So after 2012, the number of quotas has been seen to be increasing. This is also the recovery from the recession that we talked about, the world crisis at 2008, and that domestic consumers have a better ability to purchase quality goods from an increase in their disposable personal income. And another attribute will come from the tightening of the monetary policy that has kept the Singapore dollar strong in the foreign exchange market. So next question, 3.2.1, is that between 2009 and 2012, there was an increase in premiums across some categories. Identify which category has shown an increase in this period and provide possible reasons for this. So we can see that category E has shown the most increase in terms of the average premium compared to other categories. You can see from the graph here. And that another thing that we find out is that going in all categories, you can find that there's an inverse relationship between the overall quota as well as the premiums per year, and that there's a steady decrease in overall quotas, and this could be caused from the oversupply of COEs in the past, and hence the government efforts to decrease the quotas to limit the supply of cars, and that the decrease in quotas create a limited spot for prospective car owners who want to have their own cars, and hence this would actually the decrease in supply will actually create increase in the premium prices. So according to the Land Transport Authority, category E faces the greatest increased premium pricing due to the ease of owning cars as compared to other categories. To purchase private cars, bidders must bid on category A, B or E. However, within the three categories, category E is the only flexible ones, hence leading to more bidders being inclined to bid on, as indicated by the higher bidding price as well as the bigger decrease in the quota during 2012. So you can see from the graph here that the category E has actually a lowest number of quota as compared to A and B. So the next question, 3.2.2, which category has shown no or minimal changes in its average premium and why. So you can identify that category D has shown no or minimal changes in the average premium, and likely cause is because the prices are price inelastic, and that despite the exponential increase between 2009 and 12, is still a small increase compared to the other categories. And why is it why the demand is constant could be due to the cost structure, as the ERP and the parking cost is half of that of a standard car, which makes it more cheaper to commute using the motorcycles. So as such, there is a constant demand. And next question, which is 3.2.3, name the lowest and the highest category in terms of numbers of transactions, and how does this information link to each category average premium price. So as seen from the graph, category A has the highest number of successful transactions, and it's a popular choice because of many government schemes such as the tiered additional registration fee, as well as the carbon emission based vehicle scheme that helps the buyers to be more attracted to buy cars from this category. Moving to September 19th, 2017, the demographics of buyers has changed despite being a strong market, and one of the reasons why is that the buyers now are replacement buyers who are clinging on to their nearly outdated COEs, and that they are waiting for the right moment for the price to drop. Hence, this showcases how strong the market is for the category A despite the change in the demographics. So in terms of the lowest number of transactions, we have identified that as category C, because of the concept of taking public transport was not as popular in 2002, with the roads being unsafe and far from reach. However, with steady growth from the government efforts, there were new bus interchange as well as new routes being introduced to bring customers closer to their destination. With that being said, there's still a huge majority of people who want to drive their own private cars instead of taking public transport, and together with the constrictions by the land space, price of category C will remain the lowest in terms of numbers of transactions, standing a total of 174 bits, with that IN 3.1 and 3.2.
So now we're doing question 3.3.1, which is there a change in performance across the different quarters? So as we can see from the graph, from 2003 to 2016, there is a steady increase in the number of transactions, followed by a massive decrease in the monthly transactions from 2006 to 2013. The transactions start to increase again from 2014 to 2017, which could be due to a decrease in the premium price starting from the year 2013 onwards. The massive decrease from 2006 to 2013 could be due to the recession crisis in 2008, caused by the Lehman Brothers Holdings Incorporated filing for bankruptcy, which in turn caused the world's financial system to crash. This would have led to inflation caused upon the Singapore dollar, which would have made its spending power decrease, causing the premium price to increase exponentially, leading to a massive decrease in the number of transactions, as not many people would be able to afford the COEs. Next, we'll look at 3.3.2. Which quarter has the highest number of transactions? Provide reasons to support your answer. So as you can see from here, the first quarter of the year has shown to have the highest number of successful bids, with category A being the majority of COEs being purchased. This could be due to major holidays falling within and before the first quarter of the year, being CNY and Christmas. Car dealers would use the holidays as an opportunity to sell cars at attractive prices to be in conjunction with the CNY and Christmas sales. This would in turn entice customers celebrating the festive period to buy more COEs. Also, due to quarter one being the start of a new financial year, businessmen would have received their year-end bonuses. This would allow people to have more money to spend in order to purchase more COEs using their bonus. Next, we'll be doing 3.4.1, which is to create a table to show the moving average of the PQP against the average premium for each month of 2016-2017 and describe the trends observed. So as you can see from the graph, Category A and Category B have an increasing PQP and premium through 2016, but both start to decrease in 2017. This is good for drivers who want to extend the validity of their car. This will help drivers as there are new price regulations in place that will make buying COEs more expensive than renewing them. Therefore, renewing would be a better choice for the drivers. Premium trends in 2017 show a decreasing average premium and PQP. A lower premium likely means LTA is increasing the monthly vehicle quota, with an increasing number of deregistered COEs as the reason for the decrease. Next, we'll be looking at 3.4.2, which is to explain and provide reasons for the premium trends in the year 2017. So as you can see from the graph, in the year 2017, the premium and the PQP trends is going down. As you can see from the data here, a reason for that could be due to the increasing average premium between 2012 and 2013, with 2012 and 2013 being the highest premiums in the past 14 years, with premiums hitting over 70k. The PQP would have increased to the point where COEs would have been too expensive to renew, therefore leading to an increase in deregistered COEs and more space for LTA to increase vehicle quotas. And with that, I come to an end of 3.3 and 3.4.
So I'll be running through 3.5 and 3.6 as well as concluding the entire presentation. So moving on to 3.5.1, what can be observed about the number of quotas being issued in 2002 to 20 as compared to 2016? What possible trends can be observed and forecasted for the coming years? 2002 and 2016 have the same vehicle quota, but have largely different premium pricing. This implies that there has been a general inflation in the past 14 years, as the price for the same number of quotas has increased, meaning personal income of domestic consumers has increased as well. This results in a trend where the quotas will increase and decrease to the same point during a certain period of time, in this case being 14 years. The increase in quotas could be due to there being more space for new cars after the car population has been dropping since 2005. This will allow LTA to increase the monthly quotas to allow more consumers to purchase new COEs. The higher premium also means an increase in GDP for Singapore, which indicates a higher standard of living and a growing economy. Moving on to 3.5.2. What is the common trend between categories? What reasons could there be that resulted in the trend being as it is? So there are consistent drops and rises in successful bids for all categories, with the drop happening from 2007 to 2013, and the increase happening from 2014 to 2016. The drop could be due to the 2008 market crash, as the inflation would have made COE premiums too expensive for consumers to purchase, causing the drop in bid success during that period. The inflation rate dropped from 2014 to 2016, causing the premiums to drop and allow the bid success to increase as the purchasing power of Singaporeans increase. There is an anomaly in 2016 in the trends for categories A and B, as it shows a sudden spike in the number of successful bids that year. This could be due to Uber becoming more prominent in Singapore and purchasing COEs to get cars for their drivers, as Uber only uses cars under categories A and B. Moving on to 3.6.1. How does the inflation rate impact the number of bids received? So we'll explain the inflation rate from 2007 to 2012 first. So the inflation rate has spiked due to the 2008 market crash that obliterated the purchasing power of domestic consumers, and another time was in 2011, when the government had tightened the monetary policy to increase the GDP of the country, consequently causing an inflation of the SGD. So we didn't actually show a graph on the number of successful bids as compared to the inflation rate, because due to the interruptions to the economy, it's not kind of like it's not kind of what shit. It's not telling of the relationship between the inflation rate and the successful bids. So the inflation rate has dropped from 2013 to 2016, causing the premiums to drop and allow the bid success to increase as the purchasing power of SGD increases. This was a result from the government's monetary policy. Moving on to 3.6.2. What does the trend in GDP over the years imply about the affordability of COEs? There is a direct relationship between GDP over the years and the COE prices. This could be because a growing GDP is indicative of economic growth and health, which would imply that Singaporeans have a higher disposable income and thus would be able to better afford more goods and services, including COEs. This is supported by the inverse relationship between the number of successful bids and the GDP over the years. In 2009 to 2013, where there was a GDP growth, the number of successful bids was shown to have decreased. This could be an attempt to control the supply of COEs in response to the increase in demand for COEs. So in conclusion, with Singapore's healthy economy as indicated by its GDP and inflation rate, the COE trends follow suit with the recent decrease in successful bids. We can also infer that Singaporeans have a preference for driving private cars as compared to public transport and motorcycles, as well as how the ride-hailing market greatly influences the COE trends. With COE quota premiums set to slowly decrease in the near future, those seeking to renew their COEs should wait over a year for prices to continue dropping. Prospective vehicle owners, namely those planning to own a car, will find it difficult to be successful in their COE biddings because of the rise of ride-hailing corporations and LTA's efforts to decrease the number of cars on the road.
Okay, so with that, we have come to the end of our presentation of our analysis and trends. So over here, we hope that you guys got a little more insight about the COE trends and how it's being affected by the pricing of quotas or external events such as the world crisis. So if you do want to find out more, there's actually another story in our The Blue file that explains the highlights of our COE. So you can find out more about this occurrence and how it affects the COE. And once again, I'm Wei Xue, this is Kelly, and this is Joshua Alexander Lau. And thank you very much. Ta-da! So now, right, I want to finish up on the highlights in the change of COE over the years. So don't tell Joshua as well as Kelly. Alright, so in this story, we observe the ups and downs of the COE in cars. we look into the factors such as COE premiums, the number of COE quotas being issued, as well as the general population and the number of vehicles. So, the first of all, we go to the start of the drop. So from 2005 onwards, the numbers of quota issued in all categories starts to decrease accordingly, and the number of premiums decreases as fewer people are willing to trade in, with accordance to supply and demand. It's actually an elaboration from what we've done, but it's something more, fun facts. So there's actually a lesser demand for supply, and hence the decreasing as well as the shortening in the COE quotas. And then, boom! Market crash. In 2008, we didn't really talk about it in the business question, but I can explain in further details. So in 2008, the world faced a financial crisis, which is considered by many economists to have been the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. As such, the whole world experienced an extended recession, not excluding Singapore as well. The inflation rate of Singapore skyrocketed from 2.64 to 7.92 in just a year. The increase in inflation rate affected the disposable income of the buyers and their ability to purchase COEs, and hence this attributed to the decrease in the number of COE quotas being issued as the demand for the COE largely decreased as well. That's incredible. So after that, there was a continuous drop, and the cause in the continuous drop in the numbers of the average COE quotas being issued is attributed to the increase in the average number of vehicles being purchased. And you can see that the increase in the average number brought as each year passes is inversely proportional to the steep decrease in the number of COE quotas being issued. And after that, the premiums has seen to be having a great rise. And why did they rise in a steady pace? Well, based on an article by the Straits Times in 2009 and 2012, there was a reported oversupply of COE quotas during a period of time, which was mentioned during the business question, and that the price of COE quotas has been seeing this steady decrease during the same point. The time of the COE premium started to see a rise. So with a decrease in the COE quotas being issued, this thus lead to an increase in the price of COE quotas due to the smaller supply of COEs being issued out. And not just that. Due to the decrease in the COE quotas being issued, this hence lead to the increase in the price of COE premiums. The decrease in the overall quotas created limited spots for car owners, and that they were unable to keep up with a decrease in supply. That's why there was an increase in the premium pricing. And then came the government initiative. So from there onwards, the quotas being issued started to increase, and it was due to the decrease in the COE premiums. This with regards with the government efforts for the vehicle ownership controls. So according to this article, there have been reports of slower pace in road building. As such, the government aimed to reduce the annual vehicle growth from 1% to 0.5%. And with that being said, this leads to a smaller increase in the number of quotas being issued as compared to the rise in 2002. So this is also supported by a number of vehicles. As you can see, that there's a smaller decrease, as well as the number of vehicles starting to show a decrease and the number of COE quotas being increasing. So what is the future of the COE over the years? Well, you can see here we have a prediction in numbers over here, and we can see that the number of COE quotas being issued for the next 3 years doesn't really show a significant increase or decrease. And with a high premium pricing for COEs in all categories, the government does not really intend to continue increasing the premium so as to make COEs more affordable for consumers. So you see, this highlights in change of COE actually shows a bit of fun fact as well as an interesting insight over the business question that we were exploring in the previous project analysis. So I hope this is able to help you guys better understand better understand the COE trend along the years from 2002 and 2017. With that, I will end my part. See you guys. Bye.
That's all, folks.